Good morning to all of those who are watching online through the live stream. We would like to welcome you to the Virtual Wellness Conference. And for those of us who are in England, the Speaker Showcase, we have a wonderful lineup. But before we get started and before I introduce my first speaker, I will tell you who I am in a minute. But I want to get everyone in the room to stand up for a moment. We're going to wake it up in here. If everyone can stand up, I want you to start talking. Come on, you got to raise the energy level in here. Yes, make some noise. Oh, yes. Yes. All right. Keep it going. Keep going. Keep this energy going. There we go. Yes. All right. All right. We've had a wonderful few days so far at this awakening retreat. And let me tell you something about a soul evolutionary journey. It happens on time, in season, and everyone's journey is different. Everyone's journey is a personal journey. So everyone has been having a personal experience. So this evening, as we begin or wrap up our third day, which is the retreat for the day, there was a lot of workshops going on. We had some people getting massages and reflexology and twina. Forgive me, Dennis. And we just had a lot of things going on. Yesterday, we had some financial workshops. Dr. Stacy Lang really rocked the house, and they're going to rock the house again tonight. Dr. Tammy Henline, and we have the Body Street here. We have the Magnetics. We have a lot of wonderful people here this evening. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Dr. Atia K. Jones, and I am the author of several books, but more specifically, From Ordinary to Extraordinary. And for those of you who have ever had the opportunity to work with me, you know that I have helped you take your life from ordinary to extraordinary. And I'm what they call a muse. So I help you to discover and bring out that creative genius. But tonight, I have the distinct pleasure and honor of bringing to you several geniuses in their field. And I'm not going to delay this. I want to bring up the first speaker, who is, let me tell you just a little bit about her. Her name is, we call her Cam. She's affectionately known as Cam. Sophie? Yeah. All right. And she is a eating psychology coach. She's a chef. And let me tell you something. If you've ever tasted her vegan food, her soup, let me tell you, if you ever want to know what love tastes like, that's what love tastes like. And I call her the green goddess because she makes this green soup. I don't know what's in it, but it's fantastic. But she's also an NLP practitioner. She's from India. So without any further delay, Cam is going to be talking about, and if there's children in the room, I need you to have them plug up their ears for a moment, because this is meant to change your life. I'm going to say that again. This is meant to transform your life. So this is not something that's going to change your day. It's something that's going to transform your life. Wow. And so what we want to do is leave you, each speaker will leave you with some practical points that you will be able to apply to your daily life. Because when you talk about health, you're talking about your wealth. And I'm not going to get into that because I know Dr. Stacy Lang is going to come up here and talk about wealth. But one thing about wealth is your health. Because you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't got your health, I don't know what to tell you. So Cam is going to be talking about how to be a badass by lightening your load and getting rid of the shit you don't need. So let's help me welcome Cam.
Thank you for having me. So I'm going to be talking about lightening certain areas in your life that all relate to positive well-being, also weight loss. Because I think most of us are hauling way too much weight around in our life, so physical and mental weight. So some little ideas and tips that can help you get rid of some of that would be, one tip would be lightening your mental load by offloading to a friend. So a lot of us carry around a lot of emotional baggage with us. So trying to find a friend to offload to, or therapist, or trying a few stress relieving techniques like EFT or theta healing. Also trying to declutter your life. So what are the relationships in your life like? Are they nourishing you or are they depleting you? So having a look and seeing who are the toxic people around in your life, and how to enlighten your load in that way. It's a spring equinox, so at the moment everybody's getting rid of the old and in with the new. So I've just been decluttering my home today. So maybe have a look at areas around your home or your workspace or even in your car, because I just think with excess clutter, it's accumulation of energy. So sometimes it's bad residual energy from the past. You might be holding on to sentimental things. So just have a look at the different areas where you can kind of offload, because there are often memories that are attached to certain things that we hold on to. So do we really want to be keeping those old memories around, or do we want to just get rid of it and start with the new, because it's spring cleaning time now. Also detoxing your wardrobe. So I've got a massive pile at home. I've just been doing that as well. So what I used to do is, I don't know about the women in the room, but I keep hold of all my fat clothes and my thin clothes, or I used to. I've got these clothes where I just think, you know what, I'm going to fit into those. I'll keep them. So I was having a look at my wardrobe today, and I've actually got a top that I had from when I was 15. I'm 42 now. Don't think I'm going to fit into that. So I've got it on the pile on the floor. So I've got to bag it up and give it away to charity. So that's another step. But I started the first step to get rid of old stuff. So maybe we could all join in and do that. It'd be great to have like a bring and buy sale. So where we could all kind of do that with each other, get a load of women together and swap things. Also, we hold on to a lot of old limiting beliefs. Are they really serving us? Words are really, really powerful, and we tend to hold on to things. I've held on to things that my father said to me when I was younger. So, can we get rid of that? Those old limiting beliefs. Things like, being failure, or having fear or anxiety around certain things. So just taking a look at those areas as well to see where we can lighten our load. And the last thing I've got about decluttering is also thinking about decluttering the food in your kitchen, being a chef and a health coach. What things can we get rid of in our kitchen? Any toxic ingredients, any packaged things that don't serve us anymore? So that could be a good area to lighten your load as well. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. Let's give her another round of applause. Come on, make some noise. All right, thank you. Now, for those of you who are watching online, I know you can take something away with that. Take this seriously, because this is a wealth of information. And let me tell you something. Information is power. So receive it, apply it, and it makes no good if you have the information, but you don't apply it to your life. So we want you to take what belongs to you, own what's yours, discard the rest, but own your stuff and apply it to your life. So moving on with our next speaker. She is a last-minute fill-in. We had Michelle Newman, but she had to get away. She had to travel. But we have someone else who has stepped in at the last minute, who I'm so proud to not only call friend and colleague, but to also know that she's a powerful woman and doing some wonderful things. So she's going to be talking about, so who in the hell is holding me back? Oh, it's me. So please help me to welcome Saidia Murphy. She is an occupational therapist out of the United States, St. Louis, Missouri. So come on, St. Louis, Missouri in the house. Let's help welcome
Okay. All right. So
go. Greetings, everybody.
Greetings.
Oh my God, we gotta bring the energy up. We gotta bring it up. Ready? We're gonna turn around. Everybody stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Let's bring the energy. So everybody, we're gonna take a deep breath in through our nose. We're gonna inhale. And then we're gonna exhale through our mouths. Pull the abdominals in. Breathe in. Exhale. Let's try this again. How are we doing? All right. Thank you. Go ahead, sit down. Oh my God, I am so honored, first of all, to be here, to be able to speak today on who in the hell is holding me back. And you'd be like, oh, it's me, right? And when she asked me to do this, I was nervous. And I got ready to talk myself out of it, right? So what is that? That's called self-sabotage. Why is that self-sabotage? Because immediately I went into thinking, I can't do this. I'm so nervous. Oh my God, I'm scared. I don't have nothing planned. I don't have anything prepared. What do I say? But then I said, wait a minute. You got this. You can speak on your experience of how you hold yourself back. Because a lot of what we talk about are our experiences. Am I correct?
Yes.
So when I look at self-sabotage, I look at self-sabotage being ways in which I can trick my mind into thinking that I cannot do something. I look at self-sabotage as fear, having some type of fear, which is false evidence of being real, right? Some type of fear that you or myself, I don't have the power to bring what I already know that I have. And why do we self-sabotage? And one thing in all of my training, so I'll go back. I'm one of the occupational therapists. I'm a holistic occupational therapist. I've been studying occupational therapy for over 19 years. And also I got trained as a Thai yoga practitioner in Florida. This is my, so I've been doing that now since October 31st, my birthday of last year. So I've been still practicing it and becoming my own. And then also I teach kinetic yoga, focus a lot on breath work, focus a lot on posture posture, using the yoga skills method. And I use all of these entities in order to help me become a better person so that I won't self-sabotage. But then guess what? Those little voices sometimes in my head come back and we say, no, get it, you gotta stay like this, you gotta stay like that. Don't do that. No, wait a minute. But I was like, stop. With what I know as far as breath work, with what I know as far as energy, feeling, everything starts with the mind. So self-sabotage. When I look at how do we get past the self-sabotage? Does anybody know? What would you say? How will we get past self-sabotage? I know our sister spoke on it earlier today, and it was amazing because I look at it and I'm saying, I did all of that and I was still doing some of that till this day. I procrastinate because I'm like, oh, I can do that tomorrow. But what they're saying, why put off tomorrow what you can do today, right? Because we figured, oh, I can get to that later. I can come back. Then I'm stressed now because when tomorrow comes, I could have been doing something else and I could have taken care of what I put off. And I do that even now. But then I realized, I said, no, Saidia, you have the power. You have the ability to own what is yours. And why people self-sabotage? When I went to this sacred sexuality retreat with Jay Ingram, I love how he just reiterated to me that a lot of times our self-sabotage comes from our blueprints, right? And what I mean by blueprints, the blueprints of how we grew up as a child, and those different environmental stimulus, whether it be our parents, whether it be someone told us, those children that bullied us when we were growing up, someone saying something to me, or saying that, oh, you're not beautiful, or people experience sexual trauma, just different things that go on that help, that form this blueprint or this idea of how we should live our way of life. Does that make sense at all?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
When you're looking at blueprints, like when someone who wants to build something, right? What do they give you? They give you the blueprint on how to build this house, right? So if someone's coming to me and they're asking me, why do you self-sabotage? And I'm like, you know what? I don't know. And then when I go into looking at it and I say, you know what? When you start doing the work on yourself, you start realizing, wait a minute. When I was 8 years old, I remember someone making me do something that I didn't want to do. Or someone has now told me, oh, you think that because you're light skinned, you're beautiful. You're not beautiful, you're ugly. You know, or this whole color barrier thing about light skin versus dark skin, or, you know, just getting past. I had an eye injury when I was growing up. And me not feeling and believing that I was beautiful due to the trauma that happened to me, and because of the person that I felt that did it to me, now my whole image and viewpoint of someone that is maybe like heavy set, because the person that did it to me, now when I get around those type of people, then I become this little shy person. I become all meek, like, oh my God, I'm scared. But that was my blueprint of someone who made me feel this small, to make me stop doing what I needed to do now as a 46-year-old woman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like digging deep into those wounds that after I realized, and I had to do the work. You know, when you self-sabotage, you don't realize that the pain is so intense. And when I look at it, it's either, and I dealt with clients and everything, it's either some type of trauma, it's either a relationship that you have or don't have with your father or your mother. It's either someone has either sexually abused you or did something that was so traumatic to you, whether it's at 8 years old, whether it's at 15 years old. That moment that instance has happened to you, that's your image and that's your blueprint of what a situation is like. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
And so it's like, when I look back, so when we say when we say self-sabotage, we look at how do we identify it, one, and then how do we get past it, right? Because I hold my own self back. So when that title says, who in the hell hold me back? Oh, shoot, it's me. That's real. And I'm sure everybody has self-sabotage. Raise your hand if you have.
Yes.
Come on there. Come on there.
Yes.
Don't be scared.
Regularly.
Right. Regularly. Right. So, y'all get it, because this is like, oh my God, I'm feeling so like nervous but exhilarated at the same time, because now I have to own my power of being able to speak in front of people, even though I know that my eye is not perfect or this is not that. So, okay, I'm sorry. I'm just so excited. So, but so when you identify, look at look at the individual or person that may have caused you to feel a particular way at any age. So if someone told you, oh, you'll never amount to nothing, at what age were you when that happened to you? Or if you were sexually abused, or if you were, at what age did that happen to you? You have to look at your blueprints number one. And what was your examples of that made you feel as if at that moment you couldn't be who you are? Does that make sense? So, for instance, if you were 5 years old and someone molested you, at that moment, at 5 years old, you're going to now view men, if you're female, or males, you're going to start viewing women as the enemy. And then, therefore, you're now going to start, as you get older, subconsciously treating men a certain kind of way or females a certain kind of way because you have not dealt with the little child that has been traumatized. So then you realize your relationships, whether it's with your partner, whether it's with your husband, whatever, with your males or females, you're going to have issues with them because you have not dealt with that little child that is still protecting you from being hurt. And so that's what I did. I started what I call, it's been out here, emotional freedom technique or tapping. And tapping has helped me, first of all, identify the emotion that I was being attached to. So for me, I had an issue with abandonment, right? Because I realized at some point when I was a child, because I was maybe iced out or was not a part, couldn't be a part of something, then I felt abandoned. So when people didn't want to be my friend, and I'm trying to, oh, you gotta be my friend, please be my friend, or I'm doing everything I can because I had that fear of abandonment. I had that fear of people not liking me. And so I'm self-sabotaging myself to thinking that I have to be other than myself, my true authentic self, because of a traumatic or past experience with a relative or someone that made me feel that way. And then once I did that and identified that, then I detached from the emotion. So when the situation arises, you know how we all have triggers? You ever heard of triggers?
Yes.
You don't realize a car can pass and you be like, why did I just get mad all of a sudden, right? Or if somebody walk in the room and say they're like a real muscular person or they're like this, and then you all of a sudden become like, intimidated, right? Not that you don't realize, not that you don't feel that, what was I trying to say? When they come in, you feel intimidated. It's something in you that you may have experienced or felt that makes you react to that. So it's a trigger. And we have a lot of triggers that go on in our lives. And until we identify the little child and the emotions that are attached to that experience, then we're going to continue to keep repeating that which we don't want to repeat, which is called self-sabotage. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
No, but seriously, I mean, this is just me speaking off of experience. And so when I went to the sexuality retreat, some key points that I really picked up is this saying that he said, emotions are great servants, but terrible masters. Mm-hmm. Y'all hear that?
Yes.
Y'all want to say that again?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Emotions are great servants, but terrible masters, right? Because what are emotions? Emotions are expressions. They will have us all over the place, right? Why do we get emotional? Why do we feel like, no, I'm sorry, we're not going there. And another thing my dad always told me is that we have lost the art of listening, right? So are we listening to only rebuke or rebuttal, or are we listening for true understanding? When you do not listen for true understanding, that's a form of self-sabotage. A self-sabotage for yourself and for that person. Because you don't give them the opportunity to truly express what they're saying. And you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to truly hear them. You know what I mean? Because we're all like, because I know me, I'll be like, well, you about that. Then when you actually sit back and say, that makes sense. So it's like you want to be mad, but you don't. All right. All right, so let's do this. The first thing, so just to take away, we need to de-armor from all that pain. So you can do it by tapping, do it by meditation, and just sit still with yourself. Be quiet. It's going. It's listen. Reflexology. Keep me straight to sleep. Get some massage. He had me crying. You know what I'm saying? Stacy, touched on some things with that magic wand and visualizing stuff. These are ways to stop self-sabotaging. Love yourself. And I like this phrase. Live orgasmically. Okay, and orgasmic doesn't always mean sexually. Orgasmically means living in a state of mind that you are constantly at a high, and you would do anything for that high. And it doesn't always have to be anything sexual. When you live totally free and realize that your happiness is not dependent on anything, anyone outside of yourself, you will be living orgasmically. You will stop self-sabotaging, and you will own your power, be your power, live your power. So if nothing else, be in control of your emotions, take control of your mind, and always, always, always self-love, love yourself, because once you love self, then you pour to everyone. I say. Thank you. And thank you very much, Atia.
Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Let's give Sadia another round of applause. Yes, very, very good principles to apply to your life. The next speaker, who I don't see in the room, I believe I got a note that there was some information that he was not going to be able to come. He was traveling from a great distance, and he had some emergency situations that arose in his family. And he was going to be talking about me, myself, and my self-love. So I'm going to just briefly touch on some things that maybe help you on self-love, which is a message, ironically, that I've had to learn over the course of my life. See, growing up as an older child in the States, and I was one of these people who would dance and put magic wherever I was. But it was always misconstrued as me wanting to be the center of attention. But it wasn't that I was looking to be the center of attention. I was doing me and being me. And I was okay with me, and I was okay with doing me until somebody came along and said, you think you better. You think you're cute. You think you are all of that. And oftentimes it's not a stranger that tells you that. It's someone that you love, you trust, you look up to, who tells you now that you are nothing. They don't say it in those words, but when they say you think you're better, they're saying you're nothing. That's just a subtle way of saying the same thing. And so with that conditioning over and over and over again, it goes into the subconscious. So you start telling yourself and behaving in a manner that I'm nothing. I'm worthless. But Sadia was talking about freedom. I wrote a book called The Beauty of Being Free. And the beauty of being free came about when I decided to stop living up to other people's expectations, but to begin to live my life the way I chose to live it, no matter who said anything about it. So whether it was in an organized religion, whether you liked the way I moved or how I dressed or how I talked, it's irrelevant because I'm me. And if you were my family member and you just didn't like that I was over here when you thought I should be over there, that didn't matter because I'm doing me. Me, myself, and my self-love. So on the back of my book, I write, free yourself by renewing your mind in order to authentically claim it in your life. You see, freedom is a mindset and no form of subjugation. And subjugation is oppression. No form of subjugation can contain a free mind, one that is conscious and aware. See, when you love yourself, it doesn't matter what someone else says about you. You love yourself. But let me tell you something about loving yourself. It's impossible to love yourself when you don't know yourself.
That's right.
It is impossible to love yourself when you don't accept yourself. And that don't mean accept what you think you see, because see, we all got a wrinkled side. We have a pressed side and we have a wrinkled side. But you have to learn to accept every aspect of who you are. That ugly stuff that you don't see but other people can see, or the stuff that you see in somebody else that you can't stand. But guess what? They just mirroring back to you. Because when I look at you, I'm looking at a reflection of myself. And when you're looking at me, you're looking at a reflection of myself. So that's the reason why it's impossible to love someone else until you love yourself. Because the other people that you're around is going to reflect the ugliness sometimes that you don't like in yourself. But guess what? That's you, because you're looking in the mirror. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So I want to read something out of, I talked about earlier, From Ordinary to Extraordinary, which is another one of my books, Preparation and Commitment. See, anytime you do anything, you got to prepare for it. You have to prepare. But you don't only have to prepare, you have to commit to the process. Because like I tell people who I do the soul fidelity assessment on, this is not a 50-yard dash. This is not a 100-yard dash. This is a marathon. It's a lifelong journey.
Wow.
And it's going to take you outside of your comfort zone. So before you can really truly love yourself and all aspects of yourself, you got to dig down up in there and get to know who you are on every level. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you got to do some work. You have to do some soul work. It's not going to happen overnight. And let me tell you, and anybody who's ever worked with me, or anyone has ever did their own soul work or their work on themselves, they know it's pain. It hurts. You be boo-hooing. But when you do the work, let me tell you, it's worth it. So I want to read something to you out of my book, From Ordinary to Extraordinary. Discover the truth about yourself and realize that uselessness and worthlessness is a figment of someone else's imagination. Allow no one's superiority complex to affect how you feel about yourself. Celebrate your magnificence. Be grateful for your extraordinary beauty, no matter how many people tell you you're too dark, or your hair is too nappy, or you don't come from the right family status, or you may come from poverty or the inner city, or maybe you was that person in the family that the rest of your family members didn't accept. Celebrate your magnificence. Be grateful for your extraordinary beauty. Allow your thoughts to be creative, joyful, and original. Now, this is a note, because I hope you out there online who's listening or taking notes, this is something I want you to write down. Beware of secondhand thoughts, which can depress your creativity if you let them. So I want to repeat that again. Beware of secondhand thoughts. And a lot of times, many of us are living secondhand lives. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We're living up to the expectations of others, so we're not even really being ourselves. And oftentimes, we don't even know who we are because we've been so busy in our lives living up to what someone else thought we should be. So I'm going to wrap this up, but I want to leave another note with you. The knowledge of self, take a note of this too for those of you who are listening online. The knowledge of self is the first step on the ladder of success. No matter who you know or how much you know, you do well to get to know yourself. So one last thing I want to do. And I want you to pull out a piece of paper. If you don't, I'll give you another chance to pull out a piece of paper, because this is how you are going to start to get to know yourself. Me, myself, and my self-love. You can't get to self-love until you start looking at yourself. So this is going to help you to begin to look at yourself from a non-emotional standpoint. That means you got to detach from some stuff. And I'll tell you when I come up again and introduce somebody else how to detach from some things in your life. So what you do is you get a piece of paper out and you draw a cross on that piece of paper. And on one side, you're going to draw a circle. And on another side, you're going to draw a circle. And on the bottom, you're going to draw a circle. And then you're going to draw a circle on the other one. This is called a synergy quadrant. And this is a tactic that when I was coaching people, that I use. And what this synergy quadrant does, it's going to help you to begin to pull out some things. So the first one you're going to call the circle of dreams. And then on the other side, you're going to call that your circle of impact. And then you're going to call the other one the circle of influence, and then the circle of need. Now, I know when you use language, you put on universe, you say you don't need something. But in this case, I want you to write your circle of need, because you got to deal with reality on some things. And I want you to be able to know what you need to do to get closer to where you want to be. So now the circle of dreams are the things that you want to accomplish in your life. See, that's going to tell you a lot about yourself. So again, the circle of dreams are those things that you want to accomplish in your life. So the next one, which is the circle of impact, these are the areas of life that have an impact on what you do, like your home. If you out trying to succeed, you want to do some things, you know that there's some things at home that's going to impact what you do, especially if you have children. So you got to put that down. So the third one is the circle of influence and the circle of need. So we'll go with the circle of influence. These are the people who are intricately involved in your life and who influences your decisions. That's key. And then the last one is the circle of need. These are the things that you need in order to accomplish your dreams, goals, and aspirations. Now, let me tell you something as I introduce the next speaker that I always tell people. You don't need anything right now at this moment to accomplish your dreams. You know why? Because you already have every single thing that you need to do what you need to do. And when there's something that has to be added to what you're doing, the universe is going to bring it to you anyway. But you have to be committed to your journey and your process, that you're going to keep moving no matter what things look like in your physical eye. You got to know that there's something greater that you can have. It's a mindset. So that's the first step in terms of getting to know who you are. So without any further delay, I'm excited to introduce a powerhouse team who happens to be my personal trainers. And I always have them once a week an experience of a hurt so good. And that's just the best way that I know how to describe it. But I'm going to present two wonderful people from Romania, and they are with the Body Street. Can I say that?
Yes.
Okay. They are with the Body Street, and the title of their talk, now men, please don't get offended out there if you're listening, because they're talking about you too. But the title of their talk is Biohack Your Way Out, Woman. So please help me to welcome Diana and Charlie.
Hello, everybody. My name is Diana.
I'm Charlie. Nice to meet you all.
We are the trainers at Body Street, a fitness studio that is in the heart of Worthing. And today, my contribution to this speech would be around biohacking and how women can biohack their way towards a more fulfilled and a more energetic lifestyle. So first things first, what is biohacking? Biohacking is a very sophisticated term that actually means something super simple. It's just a way of you accessing your inner and outer resources to empower yourself in order to empower others. So basically, that means you to become superhuman. Superhuman, Superman, Superwoman, so on and so forth. Yeah. So I am going to talk about some practical tips and tricks as women can do in order to empower ourselves so we can give to others. For example, when you are in an airplane and the flight attendants start to present the equipment, the fire exits, what happens if, God forbid, the plane crashes, the first instruction is If the oxygen mask falls down, you need to utilize the oxygen mask for yourself first. Now, that contradicts a bit common sense because if you're with your child or with your spouse and they're struggling, the tendency is to help them first. This is our tendency to help each and everybody first, to give away so much to others that sometimes we forget about ourselves. Sometimes we neglect ourselves. First of all, we need to put the oxygen mask on ourselves, and then we can start nourishing others. First biohack I would like to talk about is a very, very ancient one. And in a way or another, all of us did it at a certain point without even labeling it. So the first one is called fasting. You've all done it. We all do it when we sleep. Nobody eats when they sleep. And this is a very, very powerful tool, especially for us women. However, it doesn't have to be overdone. We do not have to. So fasting is when you don't eat for a certain period of time. Then you just hydrate yourself and nourish your water. You stay away from food. It can be done for a couple of days in a row, or it can be done for just a couple of hours in a row and then to carry on eating. However, for us women, it's very, very important that we stay nourished compared to men. Reasons are quite obvious from an evolutionary perspective. We are designed to bear kids. Even if you're not interested in bearing kids, your fertility is a very, very good sign of your health. If a woman has eating disorders, for example, she stops menstruating. That means a woman cannot bear children. And in her body, this interesting phenomena happens. The body thinks it's famine. Maybe the woman is in a place where it's not famine. However, the body perceives it as being famine. Let's take as an example the weekend warriors, the ladies who like to run marathons, ages and hours in a row every day. They don't have the time to eat, they don't replenish themselves. The body says, okay, you're running, that means a tiger might be chasing you. And you're not giving me any food whatsoever. That means it might be famine outside there. Okay? So the plan is you're not going to reproduce, period. You're not going to be able to bear children. So the body has a very, very specific system, especially for us women, that allows us to be under ever so much stress.
Right, so I think that um, best way to put it is being in control of your own body is and your own biology is the most empowering thing that you can do. And then this way you can empower others. Just raising your energy levels up, you can just borrow that energy to others as well. If you don't have it, then there's nothing you can do with it. And I would like to talk about sleep. That's really important. I used to have a few troubles with sleeping, so I find this important for myself as well. And my journey regarding sleep and just coming up with a few examples and some ideas you can just follow, just improve energy levels. Um, so the first one is just to have a better sleep. Consider blue light. That's meant to be waking you up in the morning. Sunshine, it's great stuff when you wake up, but it doesn't really send you back to sleep when you should go to. So melatonin, that's the hormone that is being produced by your pineal gland, and the blue light actually it just offsets that, so it just delays it, and you end up going to bed later on. The second biohack would be to uh, adjust your bedtime. So when you're having a project and you're having a deadline, obviously you'll be staying up until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock at night, preparing for the next speech or whatever. But really, after 11 o'clock, there's a cortisol surge. So cortisol just rises, and it will prepare the body for the next day. It will do all the necessary processes, and that's not for binge watching television or the last series that came out. Yes, check about that. Or just cracking on with deadlines and stuff. And another biohack that is really good is grounding. So just grounding yourself down to the ground, just not having anything in your feet. Just go down to the seaside and do that exchange of electrons, negative and positive. So you just do that recharge. And light. So sunlight exposure, like I mentioned in the morning, is really, really good. Just go out and have some sunshine, even 15 minutes of sun. And this way you adjust your circadian rhythm, and you'll be having a lot more energy throughout the day as well. My general rule is no caffeine after 2 o'clock, or at least 8 hours before I go to bed. That's just a no-no for me. You can try it. It works great. Caffeine needs around 8 hours to just get out of your system. And exercise. That's another good stuff. Yesterday, some of you have been to Body Street and had a good workout with us. Hope you're feeling the good. Yes, and raw honey. That's another good one before bed. Just have a spoonful of raw honey, and probably then you won't be waking up during the night that you'll be feeling hungry, or you're just running low on glycogen, and your body actually tells you you wake up and have something to eat. Now I'm gonna get into a more trickier, more weirder biohack that I've started doing with great success. That's mouth taping. And when you heard it first yesterday, it felt weird. But actually, it's good. You're just wearing the tape on your mouth during the night. So by nasal breathing, you're actually raising your nitric oxide levels up, and so your nose actually regulates the right amount of oxygen that you need. And you're not waking up at night because you're probably snoring, or you won't be waking up because somebody else snores. Just yes, and you won't have these micro awakenings in the night, and you'll be feeling just a lot more rested in the morning. And the last one I would like to talk about, which I've used when I was in uni and I was preparing for my exams. I used to have like 10 exams in like a week. I used to put on my headphones and listen to binaural beats. So those are those little weird sounds that you probably find on YouTube as well easily nowadays. There's a different frequency in your left ear. There's another different frequency on your right ear, and then your brain comes up with the difference, which would give that binaural beat, and it will just rewire your brain to that frequency. So you can get into a delta state when you're feeling sleepy, or you can get into a stage when you're just ready to rock and roll the day. Thank you very much.
Woo-woo! All right. Now, I have a question, because yesterday when Diana and Charlie was training, some of the women who attended, who has been present for the 5-day awakening and healing retreat, because this is not just a 1-day affair, this is a 5-day affair. Is that on YouTube?
Which one?
The two women who were training that they
Yes, it's all
captured
on YouTube, all
So
on BWTM.
What's the title of it? Because I have to tell you all who's watching online to go out and watch the video that Diana and Charlie did with Sadia and Lakashay were training with the Bio Street. It's
Body Street.
really, really funny. So you really have to the Body Street. What did I say? The Body Shop.
You said the Bio Street.
The Bio Street.
It's more of a company.
Biohacking and Body Street. Biohacking Body Street. Biohacking Body Street. Biohacking Body Street. All right, now I'm going to, for those of you who are following the program of speakers, I'm going to make a quick slight change, and I'm going to kind of put another speaker in front and then have the other speaker go after that. So please help me to welcome Dennis White. He's going to be talking about, let's see, where you at? Here you are. Who's in charge? Energy flows where intention goes. Remove the stagnation, remove the pain. So help me to welcome Dennis White. All right. He's been releasing some pain today. And then one sister said he was causing some pain. Welcome, Dennis. All right.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Everyone. That's hard to follow what he was, that couple of days. You know, some of the speakers today have been really good. They've said some very important stuff, and I don't think I can really add to it, but I'm going to do my best. Right. I'm going to talk about blood stagnation from a sports point of view, and also from TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. It's a very important factor because most illness, most sickness diverts from blood stagnation. If there's no mutation going on, if there's no oxygen flowing, or there's a slow down of blood, or they don't mutate, then sickness will occur in the cells. Don't have no electrical charge to work with one another. Okay, so a lot of my experience comes from, because I work a lot in athletic centre as well in London, at Lee Valley. There are a lot of sports people, knees, hips, backs. So most of the time, when I work with that, a lot of the muscles are just so intense, so hot, and it's just solid. You know, the condition is just solid. So the other day on Thursday, what happened was there was a young boy, I think he was only about 9 or 10, and he was with his dad. And his dad, on a couple of times, said, "I've got to come and see you, I've got to come and see you, I've got to come and see you for a treatment." So the little boy said to his dad, "Dad, my knee. He said, my knee's hurting." So I said, "Look, come," because I was just about to go home, because Mrs. don't like me staying out too long. So I felt his leg straight away, and all through, because the bottom region of your leg is all controlled by your anterior tibias, your coronal spinatus muscles there, and the soleus muscle, all from the trajectory of your feet when it hits on the floor on a constant level. So any type of endeavour you do, football, running and things like that, there's so much loading. And when you're running, or when you're sprinting or doing athletics, it's like 3 or 4 times your body weight in each step you do. So you can imagine the amount of force that is required from when your foot hits through the plantar fasciitis and it comes all the way up through the legs if it's not dispersed properly. So when I felt his legs, it was just too young. There's just so much energy in there. It just needed to be released. When I started working on him, mind you, he's only about 9 or 10 and he's young. So I had to make sure I didn't rip his legs off. But I just assured the father, when I work on him, he will go through an emotion, which he did do. And to look at it, you may think I'm really sort of being a bit too harsh. And he did get upset. His hand was like this, and he's like this. Oh my God. Now, I said to him, when you finish, I only gave him 10 minutes, by the way. But when I finish, I'm going to show you, you will feel the difference. I will break up that stagnation. And all the time, he's like, and I said to his dad, he's got the same name as me, his dad, by the way, Dennis. So I said, mark my words. So I'm going in 10 minutes. And he come off the bench, sat down, and said to his dad, he said, I feel good. So it has a very big meaning, stagnation in Chinese medicine, because most of the time we look at it from a Western point of view as the heart pumping blood around the body, and that's it. But in TCM, it has a much more defined meaning, definitive meaning in the cells, how they carry nutrients, how they move waste from the body, you know, and how it's transported throughout the whole body. Because by carrying oxygen, we eliminate a lot of process, sickness, illness, and nutrition. So you've got to have oxygen coming into that body constantly. This is where pain comes in to a certain degree. You have low energy, low oxygen, body's not circulating properly, and the cells aren't carrying the right nutrition, and spark. The Chinese believe in the circulation of qi, which manifests through the south. So, lost my paper, but it doesn't matter. Can you pass my paper outside? Can I leave the paper down here? No? Okay, let's come back to that. Sorry. Oh, so I've got it there. Oh, crazy. The 5 elements, which is a very important factor. The 5 elements are the fire, earth, metal, water, liver. These all carry manifestation in the body, and they also carry the emotion. So, for instance, the heart related to fire, related to the small intestine, but all the internal organs work in conjunction with one another. The heart and the spleen work together. They don't work separately, because one needs a constant flow of energy at certain periods of time of the day. So the heart, the emotions are there. It's to do with joy. It controls blood vessels, and it comes out through the tongue. It's manifested through the tongue. Okay. Spleen, the stomach energy, the emotions with that. It's worry. It's manifested through the muscles and comes out through the glands. It's sweat. Okay. I just remembered that I'm going off track, sorry. So the things just take over me, sorry about that. Who's in charge? We are in charge. You must remember that. There's a lot of outside influence from media, pressure, from the government, sorry, and how we should live our life, how we should eat our food. And if you're sick or you're ill, you've got to know how to balance it. You've got to know how to address it. So it's important to keep the body moving. And that's a very important factor, to keep the body moving, keep the qi flowing. Because what moves blood is qi. You don't understand, or what you don't see, like vapor. Yeah? So you tend to sort of not be too active. I'm not talking about we've got to spend hours in the gym. Let's keep the body moving, stretching, moving, keep the blood moving all the time, because that's what oxygenates the body. Exercises. People use the word wrong, exercise. You know? But even, you know, most people's perception of exercise, I've got to go to the gym, push this weight, push that weight, push this weight, push that weight. No. The exercise, the muscles need stimulating. You must remember that. The muscles need stimulating. So most people, well, unknown to them, their lifestyle or their job is They either drive to work for 2 hours, work sitting down for 10 hours, constantly. Yeah. So what happens to the blood?
Stagnant.
It starts to congeal.
Mhm.
It's thick, you see. Because there's not much oxygen going through there now. You see. And at the same time, as I said earlier on upstairs, your spine is actually a pump that works into the brain. Yeah? So the brain is the brain. Yeah? So the spinal cord comes all the way into your lumbar region, and it's important that you keep that spine moving. Yeah? So throughout your everyday life, if you find that you're not really moving as such, you're stopping that circulation come back into the brain. And a lot of that can lead to a lot of mental imbalance, schizophrenia, things like that, because you need enzymes and certain chemicals that must flow to the brain on a regular basis. So that's why you find certain types of body work that work on, I'd say like Tai Chi or yoga or Pilates, because the way they restore the balance in the spine is to work against a gravitational pull. Instead of being upright, sitting down all the time, so they're moving this way, turning, sort of shifting, turning, moving the blood constantly. Let me just go back to this 5 element when you start to set down a little bit now, and then just kind of go. First time I ever think I'm going to beat it.
That's it. That's the spirit.
The internal organs, we're just going to go into it very briefly. I know it may sound a bit funny, but they have a mind of their own. They work together. They don't work separately. The heart don't work separately from the kidneys or the gallbladder. They all work together. So one works to its optimal level. The liver works with. And so we have one, the fire element. So that's to do with the heart. That passes its energy onto the earth, spleen and stomach. And from there, the spleen and stomach passes its energy onto your lungs, which is a metal element. From then on, that passes it on with the metal element, because in nature, the metal is melted down, turns into water. Water is influenced by the kidney and bladder. Okay? This is why it's just concept of what they use. There's nothing really definitive as the 5 elements. So, you just have to, keep it on board that it's not always definitive. It's just a concept they have in terms of using acupuncture as well. And so, from the water element, we go back to the wood element of the liver and gallbladder. And all these carry different emotions. So, just remember, stagnation will affect all that. Okay? And the emotions as well. Okay? The emotions of anger. In the extreme, the emotions of joy, the emotions of grief, they all affect certain parts of the internal organs, especially the liver. If you're always angry, my dad was always angry, aggressive, like a Hulk. Silent. It was always, but it's the imbalance that comes from inside the internal organs. See? So that's to do with liver, gallbladder, and they carry a lot of control. They have a lot of control to do with the tendons as well. And it's important also with the stagnation that if it's left unattended, the body does degenerate. Okay? The body will degenerate. It will not acquire oxygen on a regular basis. That's the most important thing. Oxygen, true blood. Okay? It's very, very important that we as humans must understand that the body is fluid. It's not static. So we've got to break up that stagnation. So some of the work I do maybe a little bit painful, but it's to really help break up that stagnation. That's all for the day.
Thank you very much. Ooga, ooga, ooga.
Thank you, Dennis.
Well, Dennis.
Okay. Many people, before I introduce our next speaker, many people have heard of yoga. Well, I'm going to show you something different real quick, and to just kind of get the energy back up and everything, because you know, Dennis doing what he does, he has such a hypnotic, nice, calm voice, which is lovely. And he just got us all calm and nice. See, we want to wake them back up now. So what I want to do is do laughter yoga. So think of something really, really, really funny, and I want all of us to laugh. Just start laughing right now. So much healing in the laughter. So never underestimate that. That was just a little tidbit for you all online. Okay, so our next speaker, you know what, before I introduce our next speaker, I want to just briefly, because I brought them up so fast. So Charlie and Diana, really quickly. Charlie is from Transylvania, and no, he's not a vampire, but he is from Transylvania, Romania. Diana is also from Romania. And then let's see, who else do we have speak? Dennis. Dennis he lives in England, but his roots are in Barbados. So I just want to give a shout out to these different countries that are represented here, which is very important. Woo! Let's go ahead. Yes. Because diversity is so important, because when you have diversity, you have different ideas, and we all fit together like a puzzle. Yeah. And we all are important at the table. So it was very important to bring a lot of people together from different walks of life and different orientations of mind. I also would like to take this opportunity to thank a lot of you all in the United States and other parts of the world who paid it forward. They paid it forward for this event to even happen. So let's give them a hand. Yes. And we have some of our sponsors in the room. We'll talk about those later. But we have some of the people who attended also helped to make this possible. And we are so grateful and appreciative. So we did a lot of work to make this happen. So let's give everyone a hand. All right, so now moving on, I am going to go out of order again, just one more time, and I am going to let me introduce her, and I had the pleasure of meeting her face to face for the very first time when they arrived in the UK from the United States. She is from Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana, is that correct? Okay, and so please help me to welcome Dr. Tammy Henline with Tammy Henline Ministries.
Hello. It's so good to be here in England. What a joy to gather with people from all over the world. We've had a wonderful week here. I love England. I have fallen in love with this place. So I just am grateful to be here and grateful to get to know all of you. Today we're going to talk about checkmate, mental mastery. Our minds are so powerful, and we have to understand how powerful they are so that we can control them and not let our thoughts control us. So we're going to get in control of our mind, okay? The battle begins in our mind. Every single day, there's a battle that's taking place in our mind. All throughout the day, the thoughts are coming. Yeah, oh, don't do that. You're not good enough. Or you failed once, so don't try it again. All those thoughts come to us. Sometimes they wake us up in the middle of the night, don't they? And they want to discourage us. Thoughts become actions. So we have to decide when those negative thoughts come, we're going to hit the delete button. And we're going to say, you got no place in my mind.
Yes.
Don't tell me that I can't do it. Don't tell me that I'm not good enough. Don't tell me that I'm not pretty enough. Just hit that delete button and say, my mind will not allow any negative thoughts to take residence here. Only positive thoughts can come. Only things that are going to advance me can come. And we have to make that determination. I mean, it's a battle, and we're going to win that battle. And the ways that we can do that, write it down. Write down where you want to go. Write down what your dreams are, what your goals are. There's something so important about that visual power. You know, if you're praying about something, if you're trying to achieve something, put something visually there in front of you. You know, if you're praying for a child, go buy a baby outfit and keep it in front of you every single day. If you're trying to lose weight, go buy an outfit that's smaller. Put it in your closet. Look at it every single day. You want to start a business, go print up some business cards and put CEO next to your name. There's something visual, something so powerful in that vision. When you want to buy a new house, go buy a key. Set it down there. Look at it every day. Say, I'm going to buy a house. I have a check written for the new house that I'm going to buy. I don't know exactly when, if it's going to be today or a month from now, but I'll get the check already when the time comes. You have to claim it. You have to determine, it's mine. It's mine. I'm going for it. And nothing is going to stop me from getting it because it's mine. Talk to yourself. Stand in front of a mirror if you need to every morning and say, the world is lucky to have me today. I can do this today. Boy, I look good today. You just decide that. Talk to yourself. Talk yourself into it. Might feel a little silly at first, but it feels good in the long run. So get in front of that mirror every day and break those cycles. You know, sometimes we're told not to be too confident. You know, we're supposed to be humble. And we are, but there's a difference between confidence and arrogance. And we should be confident. We should know who we are. God created us, and we're special. And He created every one of us for a purpose. There's nothing arrogant about that. We should own who we are. We should know that nobody else can be us. Nobody else can take your journey. It's yours. God designed it for you. So there's nothing wrong. We have to understand that. And we have to understand that our past is not our future. You know, so often we get stuck. We get stuck back in pain from when we were a child, or we get stuck from a broken relationship that we've had. We get stuck because that first business we started didn't work out. But the past is not going to control our future. We're going to control our past. I came from generations of extreme poverty. I mean, really, really bad poverty. And one day, God bless him, my grandpa decided, we're done with this poverty thing in our family. We're done with this nonsense. And he decided to leave. They lived in southern Kentucky in a little small town. And he said, no more of this for my family. And he packed everybody up, put everything in a car, and what would not fit, he literally set it on fire in the yard. Because he said, if we leave anything to come back to, we'll come back someday. So he drove away with all those things up in flames, looking for something new. And he changed our family's destiny when he did that. It took so much courage to do that. My grandfather was a coal miner. You know, it took everything that he had to do that. I'm so grateful that he did it. And, you know, sometimes we think, well, I can't do that because I'm not real educated, or I can't do that because I don't know where I'm going. My grandfather had a 3rd grade education, but he was one of the wisest men that I've ever known. So don't get stuck with that belief again that I'm not smart enough, I'm not trained enough, I can't do it. Yes, you can. When you're feeling like you can't do it, you just think of my grandpa out there stacking up all of his stuff in the front yard and setting a match to it and saying, I'm going further. You can do it. You be the one. You be the one to change your family's destiny. You be the one to change things for future generations to come. Take the courage, just take a deep breath and say, I can do this. I'm going to do this. And I promise you, you'll be grateful that you did. I'm so grateful that my grandpa did it. We got to wake up every morning. We have to claim the day. We have to decide, today I will win. Regardless what comes at me today, I'm going to win. Because the truth is, life isn't always easy. Stuff is going to come at us. We're going to have obstacles. We're going to have bad days. But if we determine when we wake up that we're going to win no matter what comes, then we're going to win. Because every day is a fresh start. And every day should take us out of our comfort zone. We love our comfort zone. It feels so good and it's cozy and we like it there. But we're not going to get what we need to get if we live within that comfort zone. Yes. So break out of that comfort zone. Forget that nonsense. No more comfort zones. We're not allowed to have any more comfort zones. And we have to decide we're in control. You know, break out and do something new. I got a massage today. I had never done that before. That was a little out of my comfort zone. But I sure enjoyed it, and I'm going to do it again. Sometimes when we break out of that comfort zone, we realize, wow, what have I been missing? Because I wanted to stay comfortable. Don't stay comfortable. Promise me, we will not stay comfortable. We got to make our move. You know, we have to have a strategy in life. Every morning, get up and pray. The God that created you wants to have a relationship with you. Get up every morning and start your day off talking to him, praying with him. I have some friends, and we have started going online. They started, and I joined in with them at midnight every night to claim the day. We gather together and we pray to claim the day right at midnight. And it has been wonderful. And you know, we have to forgive people. Because if we have things that we're harboring, we're never going to get what we need to get. And so forgive it. Let it go. Don't hold on to things. Life is too short to go around bitter and angry and holding on to things. Just forgive people, take a deep breath, and start new. And decide there is no stopping me. I will win. And then just go do it. Just go do it. Take a step toward it. Every single day, you can do it. Life is kind of like a game in some ways. You know, it's like that chess game. We've got components or opponents that are out there. We've got stuff that's coming at us. It's not always easy, but we have to know who we are and accept who we are and love who we are and appreciate that and control our mind. Because if we don't control it, it will control us. So wake up every morning, no more negative. Sometimes you have to push it away several times throughout the day. Sometimes we think, I made it today. And then we try to go to sleep and here they come. All those thoughts come rolling in. And we have to say, nope, you have no place in my mind. Replace the negative with the positive. I can't do it. Oh, yes, I can. I'm not good enough. Yes, I am. Determined to do it. And determine that every single day is going to be your checkmate day. Because in every game, somebody wins, right? You be the winner. You go get your checkmate. Because you are amazing, amazing people. So thank you so much. And I want to keep in touch with everybody and see where we all go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Wow. Let's
Tammy!
give Wow. So I said earlier what I was going to do, and Dr. Henline made an easy pathway for me to go in and show you how to detach from some stuff. So basically, it's very simple. What I tell people that I'm working with is to, first of all, they're just going to detach 3 times, because 3 times is going to help drive it to the subconscious. Then you're going to say specifically what you're detaching from. Detach from fear, detach from anxiety, detach from negative mind chatter. And then there is this Hawaiian practice of forgiveness and also getting rid of negative thoughts, because thoughts carries weight. And so you sending the thought out in the universe, someone who's vibrating on that is picking it up. So this Hawaiian practice of forgiveness and clearing negative vibrations, it's called the Ho'oponopono, and it has 4 steps. And so what you do after you detach, and then you say specifically what you're detaching from, then you go through the process of, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Now, before I bring on our next speaker, I want everyone in the room, and if you're out there watching, I want you to do it too, because I want you to feel the process of this. Because even though it seems like, oh, if I can detach myself by just doing that, no, because you're putting thoughts out into the universe and you're taking action. And so usually when you put your mind there, your body will soon follow. And so let's go through this Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, start all over. Sorry. Please forgive me. So I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
Let's do it again. I'm
sorry.
sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love
I
you.
love you.
Let's do it one more time.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me. Thank you.
I love you.
I just want you to chew on that for a minute. So now, without any further delay, let me tell you a little bit about our next speaker, who I had the opportunity to speak with her, and she was so on fire with what she does. And I've experienced what she does, but she really gave me a wealth of information about her product and what she does. She also comes to us from the National Health Service. They call it NHS here. But she's going to be talking about something else, but I just wanted you to know that she is from NHS and she has a wealth of information to share. And we all use all of our different experiences to impart information that can help the next person. So please help me to welcome wait a minute. No, I want to get this right, because in America, we say Marcia. But here, and she wants to put the emphasis on the R, Marcia. So Marcia. So please help me to welcome Marcia McKeever.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oops. Hello, everybody. It's interesting, all the things that we've been talking about relate so much or connect so much with the speaker. For example, the lady in the I'm sorry, I don't know your name. You were talking about how we sabotage ourselves, and I can really relate to that. Coming here today, I put the sat nav on, printed out my route, and it says it's going to take me 2 hours. When I put the sat nav on, it says 2.5 hours. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to take me 2.5 hours. What am I doing? I'm mad to go this far. I live in Hitchin in Hertfordshire, so it's a long way. But thank you so much for the opportunity. Something that I'm really about, and so it's really good to be here. So I'm going to be talking to you about, you might have hear a little bit about it. So magnetic wellness. What I'm going to be doing is talking about how it works. I've got that as well. So also, can I just say, because it stimulates the blood flow. That relates to the talk that we had before with what was his name? Sorry. Okay, so basically, as the name suggests, it's magnetic therapy, in 2 words. Now, I did have a slide, but what I've done, I've given you a flyer. Have you all got this flyer? Have a quick look at it. I'm going to do a quick survey. Have a look at it and tell me how many of you know one or more people who suffers from any of these health conditions. Anybody here? Okay. And how many of you in this room are affected by any of these health issues? Can I just see your hands? Right. I'm not going to ask you the details, but how many people in this room are affected by some of these health issues? Can I just see your hands? A few. So basically, most of us know somebody that has one or more of these health issues, or we ourselves are affected by it. Okay? So magnetic wellness basically offers a natural, non-invasive alternative to traditional medicine. Okay? That's how I think of it. It's products. Sorry, I'm going off track a little bit. Yeah. So what we're talking about is a product, a magnet, called neodymium magnet. Now, if you've never heard of neodymium magnets, there are many magnets on the planet, but neodymium magnets is one of the most powerful magnets around. If you research it, and I hope you do, if you look up the word neodymium, you will see that it's the most powerful magnet on the planet. It's powerful. It's a source of natural energy. Okay. Now we know about other natural things that the earth produces. Can you think of anything that's natural that comes from the earth? Right? Right?
Everything.
You got diamonds, yeah. Anything else that's natural?
Trees.
Sorry? Okay, I'm thinking of things like diamonds. I'm thinking of gold. I'm thinking of aluminium. I'm thinking of copper. But not many people are aware of the benefits or the health benefits of magnets. And so, but it's available. It's been used for many years by doctors, by dentists. Okay, and so we are blessed with something that's natural, that comes from the earth, and that can be used to benefit our health. So that's what neodymium magnet does. Okay, so how and why does neodymium magnet work? Magnets are used to stimulate our circulation, and it gives a supply of nutrients to all our major organs, giving the body a natural boost. Okay, our body circulation is the secret of our well-being, helping to bring the body back into balance. Okay, so why does it work? Why does magnet work? Well, one of the things that we all have is blood flowing through our veins. And the other thing that we have is iron in our blood. When the magnet is placed on the skin, it penetrates through the skin's tissues. And the best way for me to describe it is the iron in our blood has a strong attraction to magnets. And when the two comes together, it's like an explosion. So our blood is stimulated to flow much faster. What we also have is the body is getting a fresh, rich supply of blood with all the nutrients, but most importantly, it's also getting a lot of oxygen, which the blood needs for us to function. When that happens, the body's natural healing process happens faster. So when you take a look at these health issues, the body heals much faster when the body is getting a regular supply of magnets placed on the skin. And essentially, that's how it works. So what I have over there are some products. Magnetic Wellness does three categories of products. But before I talk about that, the magnets that we're talking about comes with a strength, which starts at 450 gauss. It's measured by what we call gauss. Okay, it's a German word. So 450 gauss is the minimum strength that is required for the magnet to be effective for any illness. All our products start at 1200 gauss. Okay, so that's 3 times, nearly 3 times the required strength that we have. We also have products that goes up to 1600 gauss, 1800 gauss, and the one I'm wearing now is 2200 gauss. So it's really, really strong, really, really powerful, and very, very effective. The magnet, medium magnet, doesn't lose its strength in our lifetime. It loses 1% of its strength every 100 years. Now, other books will tell you that it loses 1% of its strength every 10 years. But even if it did take 10 years, 10 years is still a long time to be wearing a product that is helpful for your health, isn't it? Okay. So the products that we have are made from surgical stainless steel. We also have other products such as copper, sterling silver, rose gold, leather, or silicone. Okay, and the products that we have, there are three main categories: jewelry, wellness products, and products for pets. The jewelry consists of all the jewelry you can think of: earrings, rings, necklaces, bracelets, you name it, even clasps, and that contains the magnets. The wellness products consist of shoe insoles, water coasters, cushions, which I have over there, and a whole range of wellness products used for personal use or used in the home. And then we also do magnetized products for pets. Anybody here have pets? You know, pets suffer from pain, from being hyperactive, from being dysfunctional in the same way we do, and we also do magnets for them as well. So, what are the side effects? Can anybody think that there might be side effects to using magnets? Yes, no? Okay. The side effects are very minimal. So, for example, if you were a pacemaker, then it's not a good idea to have the magnets near to the pacemaker. So you can wear a magnetic product on the lower half of your body, or you can just double check it with your doctor to see if it's safe for you to use the magnets. And also, people who are pregnant, not a good idea to use magnets, unless if you wore magnets before you became pregnant, and then you became pregnant, then second time around your body's used to the magnets, so that's fine. Also, some people might be allergic to copper. If you're allergic to copper, then you can choose something that doesn't have copper in it. But we have a whole host of things. As I say, it mainly consists of surgical stainless steel, but we do have some products that has copper as well. What else? One of the things that I'm always asked as well is, well, what evidence do you have? You know, what's the scientific research done on magnets? Because I know that some of you may not have heard of it before. But you know, if you go on the internet, all you need to do is just Google neodymium magnets, and you'll see that there's a lot of information about it. Cancer research is also actually trialing magnetic products on some of their cancer patients as well. There's a Dr. Tina Walters, who's a specialist breast surgeon, who has completed a lot of studies on the effects of magnets on menopausal symptoms. Okay, she's also done some research on the effects of chemotherapy patients for pain management. So there's a lot of information you can find out about it. What I'd like to do very, very quickly, I know I'm running out of time, is that I've got some products. I'd just like to quickly show you some of the products that we have and how you can use them. And if you have any questions, I'll just give you 2 minutes, but very quickly.
They can save the questions for the
Okay, fine. So this is a back support product. It's got seven magnets, and you can reuse this for any of the health issue that you may have. But in particular, if you have a back problem, if you suffer from sciatica or problems, insomnia, you can use any of our products for anything. But specifically, there are some products that may be good for use, such as if you have a back problem, then you can use this as a belt. You wear the product near your skin. So that's what this is. This I really want to show you as well. This is a massage magnet, and for those of you who are massage therapists or reflexologists, this is a really, really good product. It's 2,000 gauss in strength. You can use this as your own personal body massager, but if you want to use it on somebody else, then not only will the person who's having the massage benefit, but also because you're holding it, you're also benefiting from it as well. Very good for pain, very good for stiffness, or for cramps. I get a lot of cramps, so I use this quite a lot. It warms up with body heat within about 10 seconds, and it relieves the pain and down stress. And very, very quickly as well, these are designed to make you enjoy drinking water. Now, a lot of us really don't drink enough water. You know, we're supposed to drink 2 to 3 liters a day, but we don't. And one of the reasons why I think we don't is because the taste. Now, this is a silicone water coaster. This is the same thing, does the same job, but this is made from surgical stainless steel. And then this is the water stick, magnetized water stick with the magnet here. And this also does the same thing. This is a water band. Now, all of these, as I said, do the same thing. You simply put your glass of water or jug of water on the water coaster, and within 20 seconds, you magnetize your water. What's the benefit of drinking magnetized water? Why do you need to drink magnetized water? First of all, the taste is amazing. It changes the taste, and it tastes so much better. But also, if you're diabetic, it helps to flush out toxins from your kidneys by getting rid of it. It changes the water from being acidic to being alkaline. But also, if you suffer from acid reflux or constipation or IBS, it's very, very effective. But yeah, those are some of the benefits of using magnetized water products. There's some other products over there. I'm going to end here, but thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk.
Wow, the magnet with the diabetic situation, that sounds really interesting. And there are a lot of people, unfortunately, that suffers from diabetes. So I was thinking about one person in the room that might be very, very useful for. So I'm not going to delay this. I want to bring up our next speaker. Let's please give her a round of applause. She is going to be talking about self-care, the ultimate expression of love, empowering you to take care of you so that you can get exactly what you deserve. So this next speaker is a clinical social worker from Chicago, Illinois, in the USA. She is also a holistic health practitioner and a medical intuitive healer. Now, let me tell you something very briefly. I've worked with the person I'm going to bring up, and we go back over 20, probably 30 years. And I am a true testament of her abilities as a healer. She helped me when I was working. I had a deaf son, and he was going through some things. And the interesting thing is we kind of worked together, but she worked with me to help me release and detach some things, to also distant healing to be able to help my son as well. And it was a phenomenal experience, and I'm so grateful for her. And so please help me to welcome Lakashay Nadira.
Peace, and divine blessings to all. How is everyone feeling right now? I have to say that this experience for me has been absolutely phenomenal. Because anytime you come together with a group of people who have energy and a desire to extract from the universe the goodness and the greatness, and we're all in one room, whether you were invited to share some of your products, whether you were invited to come and speak, no matter your reason for being here, just think, somebody before me was talking about energy. I think that just about every last one of us have talked about energy in our workshops and what we share, but it's real. And it's so important that everything that we do it intentionally. Now, I know that my subject matter is dealing with self-care, the ultimate expression of love, because we have to get what it is that we desire, and we have to get what it is that we deserve. I'm going to say that part again.
We have to get what it is that we desire, and we have to get exactly what it is that we deserve. And we deserve the absolute best. Do you know that you deserve the absolute? How many of us feel, do you deserve the absolute best? And when we deserve the absolute best, we walk in a certain way. We treat people in a certain way. Because if I know that I deserve the best, I know that you deserve the best. And so I'm oftentimes looking in other people for that greatness that I know I have within inside of me. So it's an exchange. So that's why you're here today, because it's not by happenstance.
That's right.
You are in the absolute right place at the right time, because everything that you've done in your life has led you to this moment and to this space. So what does that have to do with self-love? What does that have to do with self-care? One of the things that I know for absolute fact is this: I cannot be any good to anybody that I serve in practice. Whether it be my children, family members, friends, I can't be any good to them if I'm not taking care of myself. We cannot. It is a mathematical disaster because it can't happen. So what do I mean by that? If I say that I love you, love is an action word. Love is a principle when it is put into practice. Then you see it expressed on many levels. So if you say you love me, your actions are going to show. If you say that you love me, but you're kicking me and you're knocking me upside my head, what kind of love could that possibly be? I don't want it. Unless you're kicking and hitting me with some kind of superpower of love that maybe I haven't been introduced to as yet. But I'll wait for that, because that's not what we need. When you love somebody, when you love something, when you love your work, when you love, then you show it by your actions and what it is that you do. Self-care. I have to take care of me. You have to take care of you so that you can do the work that you do. You can't call a client and say, hey, I'm about to work you out, but you haven't worked out in 15 years. It's not going to make sense. What do you look like saying, hey, use these magnets? Yeah, I want you to try them, but you've never used them. No, I want to know that you used it and that it was good for you. Therefore, that's how I know that it's good for me. So in what I do, it's so important that I'm always loving on myself. And what you do is so important that you're always loving on yourself. I want everybody to do this for me. I want everybody to give yourself the best. Oh, I mean, I'm talking about a good old, get around there. Get there. Give yourself the best. Didn't that feel so good?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So the question is, how are you taking care of yourself today? I know another thing for sure, and that is how you choose to take care of yourself determines or equates to how you love yourself. So if you're not taking care of yourself, you don't do anything for yourself, but you're running around here doing everything for somebody else. I know some of us have been down that road. I know we've been down there. Oh, we're running back and forth. Oh, we're taking care of the baby. We're taking care of mama. We're running here. We're doing this. We're up and down. By the time we get ready to go to bed, we barely ate a piece of food. And now we're tired and exhausted. We get up and do it the next day. Now we do this over and over and over and over again. And we say, I love you. I love you. I love you. And then you look one day and you're just melting away because you haven't gave yourself the very thing that you've been pouring into others. Let me say something really quick about that. Think of a person that you really love and you really care for. I'm talking about, think of maybe two. Whoever it is, think of it in your mind. Visualize that person and why it is that you care so much and love them so much. Why it is that you do what you do, what it is that you do for them. Think about that person. Does everybody have that person in mind?
Yes.
Okay. You love them, don't you?
Yes.
Woo! Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to think. Feel free to call it out if you choose to, but mainly for yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest,
and 1 being the least. What is the love that you have for that person? A 10. Oh my God, a 10. All that love, that's so sweet. That's so good. It is. It's great. Now let's go back. In your mind, this big old mirror, put yourself there. Now I want you to be honest. Put yourself in that mirror, your sweet old self, your beautiful self. Think about how much on a scale of 1 to 10 that you love yourself right now. Now, what I will tell you is that for the last 20 years in my line of practice, when I meet with my various clients, typically, especially if I'm working with women and men, but I work more with women than I do men. What I have found, and this has been a fact, so I have documented, I've researched it, I see it. What I have found is that most of the time, I would be willing to say about 95+% of the time, when I ask that question, usually what I hear is, especially if they're talking about their children, their spouse sometimes, but usually the children and parents, they'll say a 10, just like we did. And then I say, what about yourself? It ranges from 4, 6, sometimes 7.5, sometimes 8. Very rarely do I get a 10 to match. So what I usually say to that person, you're lying. You're lying. Why? You can't say that you love your child at a 10. You can't say that you love your mother at a 10. You can't say that you love your spouse, your friend at a 10, but you're loving yourself at a 2 or 4 or 5 or 6.
That's right.
It is a mathematical disaster because it does not exist. It doesn't exist. You can only love the other person as much as you love yourself.
That's right. That's right.
So this is why we have to come back to ground zero and look in that mirror and say, get on up, girl. Get on up. Woo! Let me look and see what is the problem. Let me clear the smoke. Let me figure out what is it that I'm doing that I'm missing. Do you want me to care for you? I've been caring for everybody else. What kind of love do you need? What kind of love do you want? How do you want me to satisfy you today? See, everybody wants to be satisfied. Everybody wants, come and give me a massage, baby. Come and rub my toe. Can you cook me something to eat, mama? Can you take me to the store? Can you do this? Can you do this? And when you go to bed at night, that's all you hear, that chatter. Somebody talking about chatter. You're like, shut up. And you can barely get 10 good minutes of a good sleep. Maybe not. But you're not getting the love that you deserve. So as we strive to get the love that we deserve, we need to make sure that we're loving the man or the woman in the mirror. It is important that we're loving ourselves physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, socially, financially, educationally. These are all components that make us who we are. So when we're loving ourselves all good, ask yourself the question, what do I need to love? What do I need to love myself? So you think about identify your needs. I'm just going to run through this very quick. Identify your needs. What is your love language? That's a whole nother thing. What makes you happy? Ask yourself these questions. And then develop yourself a self-care plan. Create a love ritual, something that you do consistently, daily, in the morning, at night, however you choose. And those are some things that you can do so that you can begin to get the love that you desire and the love that you deserve. Peace and divine blessings. Thank you.
All right. All right. Okay. I want to have everyone stand up for a moment. I want to stretch. We're bringing on our last speaker for the evening. So stretch. Shake it out. I'm just giving you a head start because she's Gary livening up the room. So I'm not going to have to raise the energy. She's going to raise the energy for herself. All right. Y'all ready?
Yes.
All right. A lot of times when we talk about health, most people immediately go to medicine. But health is not just about medicine. That's already dealing with something when it's already happening. But when you talk about health, we want to deal with preventative measures and living a healthy lifestyle. But part of living a healthy lifestyle is also dealing with your finances. Yes?
Yes.
So we have a speaker all the way from America, another one, who's going to be talking to you. Let's see what her subject is 7 scientific steps to 7 figures. So please help me to welcome Dr. Stacey Lang.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Stacey Lang, and before I even begin, I have to give honor and privilege and acknowledge each and every one of you, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to stand before you and share some information. So I thank you for allowing me to be here, and I thank Dr. Atia Jones for inviting me to be a part of this phenomenal event. What a life-changing event and a week that we have experienced here this evening. So I just want to thank each and every one of you. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here. Having on so many occasions, being welcome, I have to do my formalities, being welcome to speak at different ceremonies around the world. It is definitely a privilege to be in England speaking today. One of the things I also want to recognize is BWTM, where they inspire, educate, and empower. You must tune in to BWTM. Clap it up for BWTM! They are phenomenal. We also have some fabulous vendors here in the room. So you do not leave this room without honoring the vendors. Yes. They showed up for us.
That's right.
They have some phenomenal products on the table. So you must visit the tables of each and every one of our vendors, products, and services. Yes. Again, it's Dr. Atia said, my name is Dr. Stacey Lang, and I am a life changer and a wealth producer. When I come into your life, I change it. I leave you better than you were, and I give you dreams and imaginations that you never even dreamed you knew you had. That is my purpose. That is my being. And I so love being a part of sharing who I am with you today. Fair enough? Yes. I am the CEO and president of Lane Capital Group. Lane Capital Group is an international grant writing company, private and public funding. We have done over $400 million in the last 7 years. Good stuff, right? Clap that up. Yes. We're going to talk about wealth today. But before I go into wealth, I need to tap into your spirit so you can understand where I'm going. So stand up, face the person next to you, any one of them. Look them in their eye and repeat after me. I am a champion.
I am a champion.
I am a winner.
I am a winner.
I am a superstar.
I am a superstar.
I am a leader.
I am a leader.
I am a millionaire.
I am a millionaire.
Now look at that person really, really good in their eyes and say this. You are a champion.
You are a champion.
You are a winner.
You are a winner.
You're a superstar.
You're a superstar.
You're a leader.
You're a leader.
You are a millionaire.
You are a millionaire.
One more time. Say, I am a champion.
I am a champion.
I am a winner.
I am a winner.
I am a superstar.
I am a superstar.
I am a leader.
I am I'm a leader.
I'm a millionaire.
I'm a millionaire.
I'm going all the way.
I'm going all the way.
And I'm taking you with me.
And I'm taking you with me.
Now give it up for that energy. Oftentimes in this process, there you go, let's feel that. Oftentimes people never are affirmed of who they are. You can have a seat, or where you come from, or what your purpose is. But today, not only did you affirm it for yourself, each and every one of you, but someone affirmed it for you. Do we agree?
Yes.
You take that home and you relive that. You tune in to BWTM, where they inspire and educate. Review the information. You got a lot of information today. And this information in my small little segment I'm going to give you, you're going to get a lot more. But I'm going to ask you to tune in, review, rewind, and share that information because you don't want to miss anything. Wealthology, and the manifestation of wealth is what I'm going to talk to you about with the 7 steps of magnifying and manifesting wealth. Fair enough? Yes. It's good to be really, really, really healthy. But for some reason, I just feel a little better when I got some money in my account. I just start feeling better. I don't know about you. They say money ain't everything. But it's right up there next to oxygen, and I breathe better when I get a deposit. Can we agree on that?
Amen. Amen.
Yes. So Webster, our dictionary, defines wealth as having an abundance of material possessions. A lot of people say, I don't want an abundance of material possession. Name your material level. But be willing to accept what you claim. Do you want to name that? I talked to a young lady, and she told me, I think I want a 2-flat. But by the time we finished talking, she said, I think I need a 2-story and 5 bedrooms in there, and possibly my beautiful broad mirror, because sometimes you got to be able to visualize and be willing to go another step. It's okay. Once you're feeling all good, and we got all these people rubbing our bodies and got us reflexology and all this wonderful psychology, you feeling good about yourself? Spend a little money on yourself. You got to make some money. Can we make some money in here? All right. People act like money is a bad word. Well, you know, I say cuss me out if it is because I want a lot of money. Okay. So Franklin Roosevelt says, happiness is not the mere possession of money. It lies in the joy of achievement and the thrill of creative, effective earning the money. You must have a way to earn your wealth. Yes. Does that make sense? Yes. So you don't just walk around picking up money. Sometimes I do. It just follows me everywhere I go. It sticks on the bottom of my shoe like gum. I just, we got a relationship. You got to have a relationship with this money. It's innovation funding. I told you all we were an international grant writer company. One of the things over here in England right now, you guys got some new funding in innovation funding. That's a whole new release of grants that have just come out in your country. We do research. My business partner, Dr. Tammy Henline, is here with us today. We have researched the time that we're here. We tapped into your wealth over here. We had to come over here, so we had to find money. There had to be some money over here. There's a lot of money over here. I had no idea. We went all in England. We was knocking on the Queen's door. Can we get through these gates? They didn't let us in, so we tried. Okay, but I share with that because you all have some very innovative ideas and materials in this room right now. And you definitely want to get funding. You're fundable. You got some funding solutions that are here for you. So at the end of this evening, you want to talk to myself and my business partner, Dr. Tammy Henline, and get yourself some funding. Get some money. Okay? So write it down. If you don't have your pens and paper ready, get them ready. Empty pockets never held anyone back. A lot of people say, I know she's going to charge a lot of money. Empty pockets never held anyone back. Only empty heads and empty hearts.
Yes.
So if you don't have nothing in here,
Yes.
and you don't have nothing in here, you're not going to make it. I'm telling you that right now. You can have all the products in the world. So empty pockets. Say never held anyone back.
That's right.
Got it? Got it? I don't hear any feedback. Do you agree? All right. So the 7 areas, wealthology. The great I am. As you just said, I am a champion. Personal development. We have a personal development coaching that we do all over the world. We have monthly sessions that we do online where we train people how to bring out the great I am. Like who I am. I wake up every day. I heard someone say about positive affirmations. I wake up every morning and you know what I say? I say, good morning, self. Thank you, God. Where my money at?
Yes.
Where my money at? And right after I say where my money at, I say I know I'm going to get it. Why? Because I'm alive, alert, awake, healthy, happy, and enthusiastic about getting my money. About getting my money. That's very important. It sounds like I'm cursing. You're like, you keep talking about money. I do. I like it a lot, and you do too. It's okay to say, I'm a millionaire. By a show of hands, who felt funny saying it? Anybody felt you felt a little funny? No. She's like, I like that. Did anybody feel funny? Because sometimes you feel funny when you say, I'm a millionaire. And there's one thing to say it to yourself, but then to look in someone's eyes and say, I'm a millionaire. Are you really? Can we really claim that status? By a show of hands, can you really claim it?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, indeed. Absolutely.
So I see some that's like, yes! And there's some like, oh, I don't know. And there's some other people like, I'm not going to tell you because I'm not giving you no loan. But we're going to help you with that. So the great I am, personal development, that's step one. Number two is clarity. You must have mental clarity and certainty. Without a doubt. I'm alive, alert, awake, healthy, and enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, alert, alive. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. That is my mantra every morning. Because I'm going to get up, I got to get to it. Once I get up, because I believe in rest. Someone said about self-care, whatever I'm doing, I may do it till 4 or 5 in the morning, but I'm going to get some rest. You must take care of self. That's very important. Value added. People don't just give me money. They give me money because I add value. They will not just give you money. You're not going to just get it. See, these products and services, you're going to add value to people's lives. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a product. I have a sister in here that's 89 years old. Do you know I will pay her to sit in her seat just to get the wisdom that she got? Do you know the wisdom that she is carrying? How could you not want to just say, what should I do to make me better? What can I do? How can I become a better woman? She's standing up here. She's standing strong.
Yes, she is.
Do you hear that? And she smiles and she says, let me tell you, God. God is at the hem of my God. That's my God. I got my... Oh, well, let me get the plan. You must understand when you got somebody to talk to you and give you pearls of wisdom. Just sit next to them. And maybe it'll rub off on you. Remind yourself of who you have in your circle. It's very important of the people you surround yourself with. And if your dreams are too big for those small minds, then, or if you have the biggest dream and you're the biggest planner and the biggest thinker, then you need a new organization and a new group. Fair enough? Fair enough. Value added. So I always tell people one of the steps, number 4, is to play house. How do we play house? Anybody remember when we were a kid and we played house? Some of us played doctor when you shouldn't have been, but we're going to play house today. Okay? So when we're playing house, it's about imagination. It's about where do you want to go? You got to dream again. People tell me I love to dream. That's the one job I tell you, never quit your daydream. Keep it going. Have a vision of where you want to go. That's all the daydream is. But you must put some work behind the daydream. Okay? When you finish playing house, and you've written the vision, as Dr. Henline said, and made it plain, you must put some activity behind it. You must put some go to it, some chutzpah, some get to it, some get your money. Fair enough? Yes. I don't hear you. Yes, yes?
Amen.
All right. If it resonates with you, and then you say, that's mine. That's for me. If I say something that's resonating with you, you say, that's for me. I am a millionaire.
I am a millionaire.
When it resonates for you, you say, that's for me. I am a millionaire.
That's for me.
Okay, there we go. The magic wand. What is the magic wand? We talk about the magic wand. For me, my magic wand, along with my happy-go-lucky energy, is the pen. I will write a letter and I will have people all over the world sending your business and organization some money because they call them proposals. Some people call them grant proposals. Some people call them business plans. Some people call them sponsorships and letters of introduction. Call it what you want. But if it come through my door and I put my hands on it, you got a letter that's going to deliver for you. I am a writer, and I write well. That is why I am the wealth producer. Understood?
Yes.
Say yes, yes.
Yes.
I hear nobody say that's for me.
That's for me.
All right, all right, all right. So now that you got your magic wand in hand, you got your definite plan. You must have a definite plan. It's one thing to plan and say, I think I'm gonna do this. As soon as you start that, should I, woulda, coulda, if I could, but I didn't, but I should, and I woulda, but I didn't, so I'm not. All of that stuff is what we call confusion. You do not have a definite plan of action. And no definite plan of action means you fail to plan. That's what it means. So after you do your certainty and clarity, repeat after me. I am so happy and grateful now.
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 That money comes to me.
Money comes to me.
In increasing quantities.
And increasing qualities.
Through multiple streams.
Through multiple streams.
On a continuous basis.
On a continuous basis.
Let's say it again. I am so happy and grateful now.
I am so happy and grateful now.
I don't hear you all over there. You got to get a little louder over here on this side of the homeroom. I am so happy and grateful now.
I'm so happy and grateful now.
That money comes to me.
That money comes to me now.
In increasing quantities.
Increasing quantities.
Through multiple sources.
Through multiple sources.
On a continuous basis.
On a continuous basis.
Wealth is not the this or that or a material piece of fabric. It is not just your home.
Yes.
It is not just a conversation.
Yes.
It's in the heart.
Yes.
It's in the joy.
Soul.
It's in the soul. It's literally the eighth wonder of the world. It's wow. It makes you laugh. You hear a TSA laugh? Can we get just a little bit of laughter? Do you know wealthy people laugh all the time? It's amazing. I'm telling you, I love it. It's just such a fun thing to do. It takes as much energy to wish as it does to manifest.
Yes. Yes.
You know, some people just walk around and say, I wish I had it. I wish I had it. If you go ahead and create a definite plan, as Napoleon Hill said, we must have a definite plan of action. If we fail to plan, then we plan to fail. That is a truth, a universal, infinite truth. So the question isn't who is going to let me. The question is who is going to stop me.
Mm-hmm.
So write your number down. What is it that you want to obtain? You know, do you know? Your weekly, your monthly, your daily, do you know? Have you decided how many pieces of jewelry are you going to sell today? Did you decide before you laid them out? Your books, those crystals over there, all of this. Did you decide how many people is going to sign up for this magnetic workout with this Body Works? What's the name of it? Body Street. You didn't say street, y'all. She's talking to me. How many people will sign up with Body Street? Because you need that. You need your body to be vibrated and brought up to another level. I like accelerated wealth and accelerated results. Body Streets accelerate your results.
Yes.
How does that work for me? We're not selling Body Streets. We're not selling jewelry. She's selling beauty over here, riches and royalty. You know, last thing I checked, this ring looked like something the queen had on. If you had it on your finger, you may look just like the queen. You gotta tell me something that resonates with me. When I'm buying somebody something, or if I'm getting ready to tell you about one of my proposals, it's not about how you're gonna have to pay me $30,000. That's not what I'm gonna talk to you about. I'm gonna talk to you about how I'm gonna get you $3.5 million. So $3.5 million is the object of the conversation, not the $30,000 you got to pay me to do it. we can work that out. Customer 30,000. What is she talking about? It's not about what's in your pocket.
That's right.
It's what's in your head and what's in your heart. Because if I'm telling you these are my numbers, I can show you how to manifest it. Because I'm gonna get my what? What am I gonna get?
Money.
I'm gonna get the money. So in order for me to get mine, I gotta get yours. You understand? In order for me to get mine, who else do I gotta get? I gotta get yours. Who is that for? Who is that for?
That's me.
That's for me.
That's for me. I don't know about anybody else. It's for me.
There we go. Here it comes. PTFA. Programming, thoughts, feelings, and actions. PTFA.
PTFA.
Thoughts, feelings, and actions. Programming leads to what you think. As a child, we were told money don't grow on what?
Trees.
A lie. That's a lie. It's paper. And trees produce what?
Paper.
Paper. It's just printed paper. Money do grow on trees. And if you don't believe it, go to the store, buy you a money tree, and stick you some dollars on it. Change the way you think. And if we change the way we look at things, the things we look at will change. Fair enough? We change our thoughts that leads to feelings, feelings that leads to actions, and actions create the results.
That's for me.
We must change our verbal programming.
Yes.
Fair enough?
Yes, ma'am.
So what
Yes,
did
ma'am.
you hear today? You heard money was the root of all evil. You heard that money doesn't buy happiness. That's a lie. Money is the root of all evil. That's a lie. It's the love of money. You know, you got to understand. We also read in the Bible that money answers what? All things. Look it up in the Bible. I forgot I'm over here in English. Yeah, we got the same Bible, right? Just making sure it's worldwide. We're gonna pull that up for you. Pull that Bible scripture up. You got me, Dr. Henline? All right, that's my partner. You must have a partner. So as I close out, see that wonderful brother back there who do magnificent. He does magnificent massages. Come up here, please. Yeah. Run, give it up for him. This is very important for you to understand. As we close out, when you go, if you are the smartest person in your organization and in your operation, you don't have a ladder holder. You must surround yourself with people that can help you up to the next level. Does that make sense? Yes, ma'am. When Dr. Atia called, she said, it's time for me to hold your ladder so you can go to another level. But I had to show up for it. I called his name. He didn't hesitate. You know why? Come on up here, brother. Because I need a ladder holder. Because if I want to get up and go a little bit higher, I need somebody to lean on. Because I might fall in this chair. But if he was weak, whoever you surrounded yourself with, go ahead, I would be wibbling with him. But I'm not going to wobble. I don't wibble and I don't wobble because I'm not going to fall down. Because I got strong ladder holders around me. I can lean all the way over. You know why? Because he's strong. If you got a weak ladder holder, baby, you're going to fall down.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Give it up for our ladder holders. Yes. To surround yourself with higher consciousness.
Yes.
People who want to see you win. And people who honor your success. If they are not applauding you during your success, then you get them up and away from you. With that being said, my name is Dr. Stacy Lane, and I had the honor and privilege of speaking to you for just a little while. Thank you so much.
All right, let's give Dr. Stacy Lane all the space. Yes. Now, I'm going to encourage us to visit each other's stalls, but I want to say this. A lot of you heard of me talk. I worked with Stacy, Dr. Stacy, for a long time, 30 years. Woo!
Yes,
a long time. And I know that she's a wealth producer. I think you posted on Facebook or sometime the interview we did. Man, that was a long time ago on her show. She had a radio show called Wealth Producer. But now let me talk to you. Some of you all heard about Pay It Forward, this movement. So I was telling people, if you come, just tell them it's been paid forward. Let me show you the people who helped to pay it forward for you to get your stalls at no cost, for you to do what you're doing, the magazines that you're passing out. So let me introduce you to these people who have done this. Let me start with, first of all, the I Am Network. So you're looking at a lot of us from the I Am Network. All right. So the I Am Network. You're looking at the Center for Self-Improvement, Holistic Wellness, and Transformation. Lots of shade material. You're looking at BWTMONLINE. Let me tell you, I have to take this time out, okay? This is my husband, y'all. But he's also my partner. He's also my friend. And he has worked hard. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes when Dr. Atia gets to working, and anybody who works with me know it's like I'm laser beam focused. And I don't always know how it come out, but I'll be like, I need that there, I need this there, I need that there, I need this there. And it don't always sound nice, so I'm apologize for that. But I be trying to get things done because once I say I'm going to do something, I make my word my bond.
Yes, yes.
So please give it up for Ingram because sometimes I'm very hard to deal with.
Thank you.
Up to the Audrey C. Jones Foundation.
Yes.
She's been supporting a lot of work. Okay? She's paid it forward. Also, let's see. Tammy Henline Ministry. Paid it forward. And then, of course, who I work with on several occasions, Lane Capital Group, Dr. Stacey Lane. All right, so visit the stalls before they break down. Ask your questions. If you have questions, just ask the questions. Just have a conversation. But please, if you're able, support some of the stalls. Thank you. Did I forget anything? I forgot one more. Sorry. One other people who have paid it forward. Oh my gosh, please forgive me. Body Street.
Body Street.
This the beauty of being free journey with me. So I have been working with them. I don't know how many weeks it's been. Ingram and I both have been working with them because as Stacey Lane talked about, Dr. Lane talked about, is you have to be in a certain condition and mindset and body set to get fit. So I knew when it was time for me to get back out on the speaking circuit, it was time for me to get back out there and start opening some doors for people in England and other places where we go to clear the way. See, we're like harbingers sometimes. We clear the way and test the waters and see who's who. And this is what I told Worthy, y'all. I got to say this. I don't know. Are we still online? I got to stay behind here. This is what I told Worthy, y'all. But let me thank Discover Worthy because they came through. I told Discover Worthy, and I sat down and met with the Chamber of Commerce. I met with the government agencies. I met with a lot of people, and I told them this. I said, look, I'm not getting the support I need from Worthy, and we got to get support. And I said, let me tell you, let me help you to understand Dr. Atia Jones. If you don't participate in practice, you don't get to play in the game. And so they came through. So I want everyone to give a hand for Worthy because Worthy has been very generous. Also, the Chatsworth Hotel have been wonderful and gracious. They have been very supportive, and they've also been people who have paid it forward. So, so did I forget anyone else?
No.
All right. So
and the universe.
Oh, and the universe. Well, that's a given. Because this is a manifestation of the universe and everything that it's done. So
thank you. Round of applause for the universe. Yeah. We're done? Oh, we're done. All right. Okay, go. Now, if there's anybody who wants to come up and talk a little bit about what they do to give addresses on the live, they can come through now. So if they want to talk 2 minutes and give names, addresses, telephone numbers, they can do. So if you two want to come up, Charlie and come on, you come up and talk about it quickly. Come up for a second. As well, sir, you come up as well and talk about your. You don't talk about your.
No, I'm not.
You don't talk about your business, no? Come on then, Charlie. Oh, it stopped a second. Is it stopped?
Do you have questions there? I can't just talk.
I can't see what I do.